Hello everyone, welcome back to the TJOmega channel for day 1535 of our daily content grind. So it is Monday, it is time for a news roundup. Before we get into that, permit me one self-centered announcement. Because I've had a few DMs from some close friends and a few fans that were asking what I was after for Christmas this year, because collectors are super hard to shop for. And, there's always a few people out there who want to throw a little bit of gratitude my way for the holidays. So this is the one plug that I will give myself. I let myself plug this one time a year, and it's usually around this time. So I do have a page on Throne, which is where you get to gift people things without doxing them, which is a great thing. I recently just redid all of it, so nothing is imported, no tariffs that way. Most of it's from Amazon, actually. Nothing's over $100. A lot of it's actually under 50. I try to keep it I try to prevent anyone from doing anything crazy or anything like that. Yeah, so it's mostly what I would try to say is a modest list of stuff that I would appreciate. No one has to hit any of it. This is mostly a list I've set up for just the interested and my family members who never know what to get me. So I'll link it in the description of the video. And then again, of course, that is literally the only time I plug that page all year. So it's around the holidays. I'll get away with it one time. Let's move on to actual Transformer news. Admittedly, there's no huge story this week. I usually lead with a really big story, but we really didn't have anything this time. So let's just go ahead and see what we do have, because there is a bunch of news to get to, like the fact that Robosen has announced when the next product of theirs is going to be revealed. Now, it is going to be Soundwave. We do know that. The official reveal is now December 4th. So on the December 4th, I'm most likely just going to do a whole video recapping exactly how that turned out and how it's looking, because there is a lot they could do with that Soundwave that could be extremely fascinating or kind of disappointing, depending on how Robosen handles it. But we'll wait on beta breaths, because I know those are super impressive for a lot of people who just get to see it. It's not the kind of thing that appeals to me personally. I like to pick up and play with my Transformers, not let them play with themselves. Yeah, so we'll take a look and see how it turned out, though. I am super curious, because it is a design that could work. Let's go into toys that you actually can purchase and play with and transform all on your own. So we have our first in-hand shots for the Transformers Tundra Prime, which I believe is the Green Bay Packers. Me not know football? Okay, yeah. So this is the upcoming NFL crossover figure. We know, 4 teams that have been announced that are getting these little transforming helmet toys. So now we get a good look at what they actually are and how they actually work. We see, okay, they are larger deluxe size, so okay, not too bad. So I was looking at these before, and yeah, it's okay. So good size scaling. Thank you. I really appreciate when people have good scaling photos. Good balance. Okay, nice. It looks like the football plugs into the side of the hand, which does make it look weird. Now the helmet mode is where things get kind of fun, because look, it actually kind of opens up like an actual helmet, which is kind of cool. It looks like there's even it weirdly looks like something could fit and connect into it, doesn't it? Like that plus is actually just like the connection point for whatever it's going to be the helmet of. I mean, obviously not, but it's kind of cool that you can actually open this up and that the face area is still hollow. That does mean someone is going to get creative with a 3D printer and start just printing out things to stick in there. I also like showing that, yeah, it is the size of one of the double Titan Master Titan class toys. I really wish they had put it on the head as a replacement, but they did not, unfortunately. It's a neat figure. I'm not a football guy, but I will acknowledge that if you have a football fan in your life and they appreciate a Transformer, this is going to hit all their marks. So it's an understandable collab. It is one where, NFL fans will buy any piece of merchandise with their team on it. So this makes all the sense in the world. There are new in-hand shots out for Age of the Prime's leader, Big Conboy. Now, this is from the Toy Thieves YouTube channel. So we will not be going into these in great detail. In fact, I think we've seen plenty of this toy to the point where I'm not really interested in going through the gallery for this video. Suffice to say, TFW 2005 has some more shots if you want to see it. Keep in mind, they're the photos that he thinks are cool, with a lot of transparent PNG action special effects pasted over it. I hate to tell you, your job is to show off a toy, not obscure it in ways that look really cheap and very Asylum film. But no, if you're curious, they're up on TFW 2005. We're not going to be going into them today because I think we've seen plenty of that toy at that point. I don't think there's anything left to say until it actually comes out. Now, Takara, on the other hand, has gone ahead and announced and teased 4 more Studio Series toys in the way they've been doing these silhouettes. This it's such a weird way. I don't know why you don't just show the toys. Like, anyone who's online in Japan, I can assume has seen the toys in the US because Hasbro has been putting out photos of these for months. And in fact, most of them here have already been released. But they're releasing Transformers 1, Optimus Prime, and Alpha Trion, the Studio Series versions. They're releasing their Dark of the Moon Wheeljack. And we have what the listing on TFW 2005 says is Devastation Bumblebee. I think it's just the 86 Bumblebee. I'm not sure Japan's even gotten that mold yet. Either way, that Bumblebee mold is coming out in Japan soon. I just wish they would just show the color images, because like we've seen them already. Everyone in Japan has seen all 4 of these toys already. This is not a surprise. This is not a big mystery thing. I don't know. It's funny to me, I think. Also coming out of Japan, Amazon is releasing these takes on the Transformers Wild King bundles, which is basically just the first 4 releases, but you get a fancy holiday bag that they're wrapped in. It's basically just them wrapping things up in a fancy bag and selling old stock that way. I don't know. I guess it's the Black Friday equivalent. I want to say it's their equivalent of like cellophane 2 deluxes together and selling them for the price of 1 that we get for Black Fridays at Walmart here. The closest I can assume is going on here. So this is not news. This really is not news. I bring it up just in case anyone thinks there might be something extra special in there. To our knowledge, no. It is literally just the same Wild King toys plus bag. So don't go looking for anything exclusive out of it. A little bit of sad news for you Transformers Battleground fans. It was announced that at the end of December, the stores that currently carry the game are going to be delisting it. So if you've ever been interested in Transformers Battlegrounds, now is the time to get in on it. So if you bought the game like on Steam or something and you want to re-download it later, you can. But there will no longer be a way of purchasing the game after December. This is one of those like, yeah, like this is one of those situations where like there's a lot of advocacy now against game developers releasing temporary games that, you know, once the server shut down, the game just no longer exists and it's completely unplayable, which really sucks for a game they have to buy into to begin with. But for the people who are ever interested in this game, you have a little over a month to get your purchase in. So good luck with that. All right. Transformers Cyberworld did release a double episode recently to put what seems to be like what it felt like a season 1 finale, even though we know there's more episodes coming. It just so happened that these 2 episodes went together very, very easily and very, very, very well. And it was a better story told in a 10-minute episode rather than a 5-minute. I will not spoil it, but there are some major developments if you've been following Cyberworld that has me super curious about what they're actually going to be doing in the show from now on. But yeah, it continues to be just like a fun little like, okay, I got 5 or 10 minutes. I'll sit down and watch Cyberworld. Why not? Yeah, it continues to be a cute little show. Inoffensive, fun. So you remember those little Takara mini boxes that we saw a while back? We now have them in hand with, or at least we have official images of them. So now we actually get to see what these are about. So this is the weird thing, is that on some of these, like this Optimus Prime looks rendered well enough to make me think, wow, that actually looks like there's an actual Optimus Prime inside that little box. Or like a little toy truck of Optimus Prime I could take out and give to a bigger Optimus Prime toy because, haha, I have the humor of a 10-year-old. But some of these also kind of just look like like a printed piece of paper just in this, like, or on cardboard. Like that jazz looks very two-dimensional to me. Bumblebee obviously is not a windowed box, so we can't tell there. The Megatron definitely just kind of looks like a flat piece of cardboard. I don't think they're actually selling like micro versions of Transformers in these boxes. I really think is just the box as a keychain. Though that does make me curious. It does look like the box itself is literally just paper. So like it doesn't feel like it's going to hold up very well to me. There's the Galvatron as well. You can see where they've imitated the styrofoam insert as well, as which is kind of a cool little touch. And then Scourge as well. If you just want to have like a whole bag full of sweeps hanging off of your off your bag or off your keychain, whatever. Yeah, so it's just a representation of the original packaging. As far as I know, that is not an actual toy inside. And considering these are only 300 yen a pop, yeah, probably not. Probably not an actual piece of plastic in there. So don't get your hopes up. There's no super tiny transformer inside these. Unless there is, and I'm completely wrong. Let's get into the partner pieces for the week. So there's now official promotional video and sample images of the Age of Extinction Drift from Yolo Park. This is the AMK Pro, and we just took a look at that on the channel yesterday, as a matter of fact. So if this is your interest, if you want to see exactly how this toy turned out, spoiler alert, turned out really, really well, go watch the video I posted yesterday. I went into as much depth and detail as I could, showing off everything this toy is capable of. It's quite a bit. It's a very, very impressive piece. As a lot of stuff from Yolo Park is. But not to be outdone, Blokees has posted images of their classic class Dark of the Moon Megatron and Bumblebee. These classic class toys are actually, they are small-ish model kits. You're getting like a 4 to 5 inch figure out of it, but they do formed up pretty well. Like they're pretty well rendered. You can see the details are all there. They have enough paint to emulate the look of the character pretty well. Yeah, and this is a really nice little representation of Bumblebee. Like no real argument there. You know, if you want a desktop size Bumblebee that's still like articulated, great option for you. And of course, it does come with alternate parts that you can play around with. Yeah, you can see right there just how many alternate parts it does have. The Megatron, if we can get to the photos of it. Yeah, see, the Megatron is doing that thing of like the two-tone plastic, which I'm not quite into. But I mean, if you don't want just a solid gray Megatron, then it does definitely break things up. I think this just comes from the fact that I've never really seen a good render of Megatron from that movie that wasn't in that movie. So I never really got a clear look at him to see if he did have these like brown notes across his body rather than just being like flat gray. I just assumed he was flat gray and gunmetal. But that's just me. I think that's just based off of like only having experience with the toys rather than the movie model themselves. Usually these companies get a hold of like the direct ILM models to base this stuff off of. So if they had a brown color in there, then yeah, and then a company like Blokees is going to pick up on it. So those are going to be on the way soon for anyone who wants their movie lines to be expanded a little bit. As usual, because movie designs are so difficult to emulate and create a transforming figure out of, I do recommend purchases like this and purchases like the Drift here because they are very, very good representations of the characters on screen. They cannot transform, but in this case, for their goal, that's to their benefit. We'll continue with Blokees, who just showed off the really, really nice pictures of their rollout series of Blokees wheel transformers. These are all IDW based, which I think is definitely what makes them stand out here. So we get to see, Optimus Prime, runabout and the darker colors of Rodimus, both of the Indy cars. I'm happy that they do look so different from each other. They don't just look like retools, which is great. I think that it looks like they share a few details, but Mirage and Dragstrip looking very different from each other. This is mostly paint work. These two look pretty similar to each other, same mold, but still looking pretty good. Still looking pretty good. I love the fact that they did do IDW for this, because a lot of IDW vehicles, we do not get a whole lot of attention. We don't get to see them in vehicle mode a lot. Megatron, IDW, like Autobot Megatron, we never really got to see him in vehicle mode, for instance. And I want to say the same for Swerve. His vehicle mode appearances were very rare. So yeah, it's a cool way to actually get a look at them, get a little figurine of them. They look really good, despite just essentially being, I believe, just plastic toy cars. Oh, die-cast parts. So actually, no, these do have metal in them. So they should actually roll pretty well. If you want to expand your Optimus Prime from said line, Blockies also showed off the official images for the trailer, which does open up. Roller is included. Roller is also IDW in style. We have the repair drone too, which the two can combine, just like the more recent versions of those toys can. It's fun enough. It does pretty much everything you would expect this trailer to do at a large size. So kind of neat. And I actually like how much playability they've worked into like the drone and roller here too. That is actually kind of neat. Does it have its own independent wheels? Does it have its own independent wheels? That's actually kind of sick. It's kind of neat, actually. And the roller can pull the trailer too, just in case you don't have Prime. That's neat. Moving on to something a little bit more local, if you want to stick to domestic for your Transformer car-based toys. So these are key blasters. Now, if you've never seen these before, the way they work is essentially a reverse of how most Transformer missile launching gimmicks worked. So the key itself is basically just the stem that pushes the gimmick, the spring inside the toy. And then when you launch it, it fires off the car. So yeah, it's essentially if you hold on to the missile of a launcher on a Transformer and then hit the button and the launcher flies off. That's how it works. So yeah, we have a few of these here. So we've got ones across Optimus Prime, Grimlock, Bumblebee, and then Megatron, Soundwave, and Starscream. So you're getting your big three from both factions if you collect them all. So yeah, fun little piece if you really like your driving Transformer toys. It's fun to me that they claim they're $12.99 elsewhere and they have them for $5.99. Considering they're brand new, it'd be really weird if they already hit the clearance aisle. Which could be possible if these just like were intended for like a more widespread domestic release. Yeah, it says these were found at grocery outlet, so this would have been a secondary store. It would have been funny if these were planned for a wide release and then just kind of flopped and never came out, and then just ended up in liquidation immediately. That does happen sometimes. And let us wrap it up with another toy car that you can get for your Transformer collection. This is a Volkswagen Beetle toy done by Jada, and this is a pullback motor. So again, we have ways of just sending things driving off in our Transformer world. These are fairly small. They are only $5 if you go to, see, where was this found? Five Below. Makes sense for a $5 toy. So yeah, and for you Bumblebee collectors, another oddball for you to go hunt. And with that, our news roundup is concluded. Like I said, weird news week, no major stories. It's a lot of oddball stuff, but sometimes those are the fun weeks to read about. So thank you very much for watching today. I'll see you next week for the next roundup. But until then, the daily grind continues. Thank you very much. I will see you next time. Hello everyone, I am Astral Agent Magnetar, a Tokusatsu VTuber, and I am streaming 4 times a week over on Twitch, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday afternoons, and a special late night one on late Friday/early Saturday. So come watch, come hang out, and let's make an impact together.